Kia ora and welcome to Beer Club. I'm Luke.
I'm Joe.
This week we are drinking a beer from Hot Water Brewing Company and it is their XPA.
Yeah, they're a brewery who have been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
They used to have little 330ml cans, sort of slightly like stylized to kind of look like wood, I think, from memory.
Well,
in the little colors. But yeah, bought by new owners in 2022 and sort of reimagined, as you can see. New recipes, new beers, new cans, all of that.
Yeah, quite a cool story behind Hot Water. So it started off as a farm that's in a really beautiful location near Hot Water Beach in the town of...
Fenuakite.
Yeah, that's it. And it's right on the water. It's just a really beautiful location. So I'm not sure exactly what came first, but I think they opened a campsite there. And then after a few years, they opened some cabins that you could stay at as well. And they opened a cafe and a restaurant. And then to go with that, they opened a brewery, which makes sense, right? I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a bit of a destination place. I went there. I was staying in Whitianga with some mates, and we drove up there. Had a good time. It was very hot day, sitting outside, lots of grass around, and nice beers.
Yeah, it'd be cool if more people did that. If you just have a campsite or a busy restaurant or a football stadium, whatever it might be, and then just decide actually, why don't we open our little brewery and just look after making good beer for people? So most of their beer is sold exactly there. You definitely don't see a lot of it around the country. And I'd kind of forgotten that. I don't think I realised they had put beer in cans. I think maybe it's a relatively new thing that they've started doing again.
Yeah, they used to be 330 only. I don't know if I've really seen any of those old 330s in a very long time. And our mate Vinny, who's a subscriber, was holidaying there or nearby there over summer, and he brought us some samples, and we were quite fond of this one. So so
thanks to Vinny, the reason we're sharing this beer with you all over the country today. It's been a little while since I've been to Hot Water, but I remember I went to one of the best beer festivals I've ever been to years ago. It would have been, I think 2018 was the last time they did it, maybe 2019. And it was called Rising Can. So it was a beer festival at the campsite, so just in a field. And they had like maybe a dozen breweries sort of dotted around, and all the breweries just had beer in cans. So all the breweries were just standing around with chili bins, nothing was getting poured. And everyone didn't have glasses, just drank beers out of the cans, which was kind of early days for a lot of cans. 2018, 2019. And they had the classic band on the back of a trailer and a couple of food trucks, and then it all finished, and then you went to sleep in your tent and woke up the next morning and had a beautiful breakfast there. So I think they only did Rising Can a couple of times. Maybe it was a headache to organise with permits and things, but it was a really fun festival. So if anyone's planning to do anything similar, I'd love to get involved. Just holiday/beer festival.
Yeah, which
trip.
Brewery would host it on their rural property?
Yeah,
Lakeman, maybe.
Yeah, there's a few breweries around in like beautiful sort of pastoral locations.
Wide have maybe something up there. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And onto the XPAs, as you were just saying, an Australian style, right?
Well, yeah, majorly popularised in Australia through Bolter XPA, I would say is the main one.
Yeah, and maybe Four Pines, I suppose. But but Bolter XPA was definitely like in the 2010s.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, that's them taking American Pale Ale and thinking, core blimey, it's way too hot for all that malt, and stripping quite a lot of malt, making it extra pale, super light, super refreshing, but with all the hops that were sort of all the rage 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So, that's, I guess, where the style grew from. So not surprising that in the Coromandel, where it's really hot over summer, they're drinking XPAs like this.
Perfect, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's like core blimey so much in Australia.
What am I thinking?
Maybe like
Dinkins,
Bonza.
I've never heard that.
Rack off. Yeah, I don't know.
We come from different times.
Yeah, in different nations.
Yeah.
Lovely, smashable XPA, and a nice bit of hop character. It's got, was it Waiti?
Yeah, bit of Waiti, Citra, Motueka, so real lemon lime kind of hop character. A
Yeah.
little bit of sort of stone fruit from Waiti.
Yeah,
Again,
a bit of like apricot vibes.
Yeah, I feel like I've said this like 3 weeks in a row, but a hop I wish we saw more of, Waiti.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
great hop.
kind of why you're curating these beers, right? You're spotting things that have interesting hops that you're into and getting them into the boxes to share with you wonderful people.
I love Riwaka, but you know, I also love other hops.
Yeah, so many good hops, aren't there?
Yeah.
Also, that's a good segue actually.
Into fresh hop.
Into fresh hop, yeah. So pretty much finalised. We've, well, mainly Joe, but also I've been very involved in some of the chats. I've been putting a lot of work into just really curating and honing a really bloody good 12-pack because there's so many fresh hop beers out there at the moment, and we just don't want to put together a dozen like hazy pale ales that all have the same hop, as delicious as that might be. So it's a pretty, like really honed selection from some amazing breweries. It's the best of the best.
Yeah.
Bunch of styles.
It's not a box of 12 different beers as much as it is 12. That's a stupid way to put it, but like it's meant to kind of be enjoyed maybe over a couple of days, or you know, a lot of different styles, so you're not just getting West Coast IPA fatigue or something like that. There's a good range in there. I think 6 different styles.
Yeah, bitter coupage.
8 different styles. Yeah. So really cool, and kind of put together to be together.
And the whole vibe of
chucking all the West Coast IPAs I can get my hands on in a box, which would also be delicious. But
it would be, but just that thing we love doing, which is beer festival in a box. Like it actually would be a super fun thing just to get together with a mate and actually smash all 12 of them in an afternoon.
Yeah, we would never recommend that on a video. With 3 mates.
6 beers each. Yeah, with many, many mates. Yeah, no more than one standard drink per person. So that is always going to be a delicious time. Thanks, Hot Water. Lovely work. Really cool to see you putting some beer in cans, getting them out a little bit further than Coromandel. Thanks to Vinny for reminding us that Hot Water exists. Well, more alerting us to these cans that the beer is in, because it's kind of hard to share kegged beer with people all over New Zealand. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
Cheers.